In this video, we're going to have a brief look at the custom formatting that you can put in newer versions of Power BI Desktop. So if you are limited to this list, then you may have an older version. Now, it's the same sort of things that you can do in Excel. So, for example, a 0 indicates that a figure has to be there. So if I put in lots of zeros, then you can see that even if the zeros are not necessary, then they will be there. Secondly, we can put in commas as thousand separators. These will be shown as your thousand separators. So if you use a full stop, a dot as a thousand separator, then that will be shown instead. Then we can also put in a dot and then however many decimal places you might want to use. Now you can also use a hash or pound sign. So this is probably a bit more common. This indicates, okay, give me these digits if they are there. If not, don't put lots of zeros. So if I was to add a few more at the end, then you will see, and you can see it's a bit tricky to do, it won't force a 0 to be there if it doesn't need to. Similarly, you can put these hashes or pound signs after the dot as well. You can also put things in strings. So suppose I wanted to put a speech mark and then the word pound preceded by a space. That's also possible. Now, just like in Excel, you can also put in up to 2 semicolons. And this shows the first bit is for all positive numbers, the second is for all negative numbers, and the third bit is for zeros. So we're getting really advanced here. So you might want a different format for positive numbers compared to negative numbers compared to zeros. But if you don't put any of those in, then it will apply to all numbers. So let's say I wanted this to be formatted with a comma, then I can just put in hash or pound, comma, and then a couple more, and then 0. Because I generally want the units figure to appear even if it is 0, and then maybe dot and a couple more decimal places. Now I can also do custom formatting for dates as well. And if I click on the format, you can see the various custom formats that are here, but you can also add your own. So for instance, you can have Ds. Well, a single D is for the date, so 9. 2 Ds will mean that there will be a leading 0 at the beginning, so 09. And then Ms would be for the months, so you can have again 1M, which would be the number 1, 2Ms, which would be the number 01, or 4Ms, that would be Mar. 3Ms would be the shortened version, Mar. And it's the same for Ys. You can have 2 Ys and you can have 4 Ys. You can also have H, 1 or 2, for hours, N or M for minutes, and S for seconds. You can also have AM, PM. You can have also additional things such as colons to separate, for instance, the hours from the minutes. So if this gets a bit confusing, well, firstly, don't be too confused. But secondly, why not have a look in Excel? So have a particular number format. So let's set this up as a percentage sign with some decimal places. If we go into the number of format cells and go into custom, here you can see how it is formatted. And you can see some other suggestions as well. So you can use all of these in Power BI. One final thing, you can also do all of this in the Model tab. So if I was to go to the Model tab, I click on a particular field, so let's go down. It's a bit trickier, this thing, the actual scroll bar. Go down to Sales Volume. We've got this Properties pane. If you can't see it, it might be collapsed. And if I scroll down, we can see the data type, as we've had before, and the format. But the bottom format is different. It is custom. And this then allows you to put in the custom format as we have just done. So none of these options in the Model tab actually give you anything else. It's just a different way of being able to set it up. So similarly, if I go to Date and scroll down, I can change the date format to custom. And then in here, I can type in my date format. So I can type in DMMMYY. For example, if I tab out of it, then you'll see an example of what this will look like. So this is how you can implement your custom formatting. Now, for more on this, you will see attached to this video as a resource a link to this webpage, which goes through all of these various symbols, so you can read more about it if you so wish to. However, most of the time, you're probably fine just sticking to the default formats that you can see